Hey guys, Brandon with Lucky M Boer Goats here in Davie, Nebraska. This is going to be kind of one of our first videos. We're going to try this out. We're just going to shoot it on some cell phones here to start, so we'll see where that goes. We'll upgrade to a GoPro or something later on. You know, being a first timer, just broke part of the mount for the tripod to hold the phone, so we'll see where this goes. We're out here today. It's about 30 some degrees, so it's a little brisk. I'm a couple days out from shoulder surgery, so we're trying to get some things finished up here in mid-October, early October. Just trying to set some tank heaters up and get a bunch of things ready for Shayna before she has to kind of take over for the winter while I'm down for a few months. Got most of the hay stacked in the shed that we'll need, or at least half of the small squares. Gonna be getting some large squares of alfalfa from some friends of ours as we transition the does over here before kidding, and also we've got most of our shavings for the kidding shed set up. So if she hasn't covered that, we'll cover that, our setup at some point here. It's a 14 by 40 foot shed. It's on the other side of the farm back here to the north of the house. We can kit out 13 or 14 pins of does in 5 by 5 pins. We usually try to clean that up once a week. So I've got about 300 bags of pine shavings bought and stored up. Work part-time weekends at Orscheln Farm and Home, so my employee discount and some sales helps do that. But we just got done a weekend ago with our first consignment sale at the Platte Valley Bonanza, and we also did our final show there. There was, I want to say, 4 shows in 3 days. We competed in 3 of them. Came home. It was our son's birthday, so we were going to do some stuff with that. So what I've got left today, I've got all the herd trimmed up. We're a little lighter on does right now. As we're transitioning to more of a full-blood herd. We've got a couple commercials and a few percentages here. So our numbers aren't as high. I want to say we're in the 20-22 doe range right now, outside of the couple young ones we've got. We just sent one of our sale lots off. We called her G-Baby. She was lot 16 at the Platte Valley Bonanza. She was a weatherbred doe, real nice young weatherbred doe. Colby and Terry Teese just came up from down in that Sterling area here in Nebraska, southeast Nebraska, and picked her up a little bit ago. So we wish them luck with her. She's super calm. She's super lovable little doe. They're going to really like her to go along with another doe they got named Nellie. They got from us a couple years ago, and Colby's had some really good success with her locally in their 4-H shows. So what I've got to do today, we'll kind of watch our battery. I'm going to run over here in this pen over here, see if I can show you guys. And I got to go grab Brett, or DANDD, I think his name's Square Power. But we're going to go grab Brett over here by the feeder, and I'm going to bring him over here. To the Sullivan hybrid stand, and we got to do some hoof trimming on him. We try to trim most of the goats around once a quarter if we can. You know, we'll run everybody through the chute. As you can see behind me, I have a Northeast Texas gate Goat Master working chute. We've had that a couple seasons now, and that works really good. The head gate's adjustable through a couple pins. The thing I found with Brett, though, if I need to do anything where he's going to be in there in a while, I haven't found a good setting. It's almost as if one of them needs an extra hole drilled in it. So we're just going to put him on the stand today and see if he won't cooperate. He's pretty sweet, lovable big lug, so he doesn't fight too much. But anytime you're trimming hooves, it's not going to be super fun with your buck. What we've got today here, about a year ago, Shayna bought me a Hoof Boss. And I know I've talked to a lot of people about them, and they've got a cordless. I want to say his name's Jason from Clear Creek Farms. He's done a video about the cordless one. I think it runs on a DeWalt battery. But we've got the corded one, and I've got power up here from the shed. You can see my extension cord hanging here on the fence, so I'll just run that down. But we bought the Herd Boss kit. So that comes with the 8-tooth chainsaw blades. They're all in one piece. I want to say, you know, through Valley Vet or something there in Missouri where we got ours on sale. You know, they're probably like a $30 blade or something like that. So they're not cheap, but if you really got some hooves to knock through, it works really well. I know a lot of people like to just use, you know, 4.5 inch, 5 inch angle grinder with a flap disc or something. Talked to some people at the show this weekend. It works real well for them. They can keep both hooves nice and flat. It kind of depends. If we're after just getting some hoof wall knocked off or something quick, we'll just get them knocked off. But I also have the ability, when I sharpen them, to keep them nice and level. I've also got a couple of the finer grinding discs for the babies, like after weaning, if we want to keep their hooves knocked down. I guess personally for me, I've had a lot of carpal tunnel, stuff like that. So this just helps me out a lot more than a sharp shears. Plus, I feel like I can knock the middle of the hoof down and get the pad knocked down a little better than if I was just using a sharp shears. Normally, I'll keep a little, I don't know, whether it be right or wrong, we usually keep a little copper tocks out here. That way, if you do nick one up, we can kind of get that treated up just as a little bit of a precaution, especially if it's kind of wet out. We actually had just a slight snow storm, and not really storm, just a few flurries passed through this morning, but we've been really dry here in eastern Nebraska, so the girls have been good on that, so we haven't had to worry about it. But what I'm going to do now is I'll stop you guys, and I'm going to run over here and see if I can just use a Sullivan lead and pull Brett over, or I'll go grab a halter and get him set up for you, and I'll kind of walk you through looking through some hooves. That big boy likes to get his fair share of grain in the pin with the girls, so I know he's got some growth that needs knocked down. I kind of got started on him one day before he popped out of the chute, so we'll kind of take you along with that. And a couple guys we talked to at the show this weekend had some goats with some pretty long coats, and the Weaver de-shedding tool or comb or whatever you want to call it, we're gonna probably knock him down a little bit, just make him look a little better. So we'll take you along for the ride, so give me a few minutes and I'll be back with you. Okay, well, we got Brett up there. He's such an easy keeper. We talked to Curtis and Amy Elmore out of Oklahoma. We bought him at the Heartland sale in Lincoln, Nebraska, a little over a year ago. He is super sweet, and so he's kind of like a lot of the animals we raise, and just a real easy keeper, real sweet around most all of our kids. We've got 4 of them, if Shayna hasn't told you already. So we like to have pretty calm animals around here. He doesn't like Jackson too much, 3-year-old, but Jackson's a little ornery. So anyway, what we're gonna do is I'll just kind of let the camera roll. I'll see if I can bring you guys in a little closer. But I tried to trim his hooves here about a week and a half ago. He was just kind of being ornery with me. I'm sure he'll be kind of ornery with me today. But what I'll do is I'll get you set back up so you can see what I'm doing. I'll probably change blades out so I've got a fresh sharp blade, so we can knock this out quick for him. We'll just be a little extra careful with the sharp blade, and we'll get him done and get moved on to a couple little sale does we bought. Alright guys, well, I got the blade switched around on the Hoof Boss, so I had to hit this one with the file quick. It comes with a file so you can sharpen your chainsaw blades. I don't know if the other kits do if you don't buy the Herd Boss kit, but like I said, we got some rough hoofs here on Brett, a little bit of growth. Shouldn't be anything crazy, but anything with a buck, it's going to be a little bit of a pain to try to get him to cooperate. So I'll see if this setup is going to work for you guys to be able to see. Usually I'll try to pick their front leg up and set it on mine just to kind of control them a little bit. We'll see what happens. As you can kind of see here, we're not too bad. We've got a little bit of hoof wall growth. We'll get that knocked down. We'll get him knocked down to the pink of the hoof. He's already trying to fight me. As you can see, we can get it knocked down pretty quick. Here, we're shooting to get into that pink of the hoof. So if you guys can see there, we're down to the starting to show the pink, so we're getting down there. The tip of the hoof could probably go a little bit more, but we're sitting pretty level. So like I said, that's kind of what we're after. I'm gonna finish these front ones up. He'll probably fight me a little bit, and then we'll move on to the back. All right, guys. Yes, you're staring at a goat butt. So I guess, I don't know, viewer discretion advised. So what we're gonna do now, we got the front ones knocked down. Like I said, with this blade on here, I'm not necessarily after making the side look all pretty. Knocking it down, show condition. Just trying to get the hoof walls knocked down and center the hoof and get it all leveled back up before we go into winter, where we don't really have a facility out here in eastern Nebraska inside to do this. Plus all the mamas are gonna be kidding and weaning for the next few months, so I won't get to touch a lot of them until after they've kidded. So, you know, February, you know, or March after they wean. So the rear legs of any of these animals usually is my least favorite part. So I guess what I like to do is when I pick them up, I like to come up over the animal and kind of pull the leg across a little bit. Seems like they don't fight me quite as much. So we'll see how Brett does. As you can tell, this one, we've got a lot of hoof wall growth here. A lot of people clip this off. If I do this right with this, I can knock it down pretty quick. So as you can see, we're getting that knocked down pretty good. I love these things. I'm gonna go ahead and shut you guys off. My battery's about to die. But as you can tell, this thing works wonders, especially for cleaning your herd up before the winter. All right, guys, well, my camera will focus. We got Brett knocked out. So here he is. Yes, he's got some fishtail going. We try to hit most of the herd with some extra copper and things like that. He's always had a little bit rougher of a coat because he was shown a little bit early on, clipped up for the sale, things like that. We're gonna go ahead and get him back over with his girls, see if he'll follow us. He's a good boy. He leads pretty easy. Usually you just kind of scratch him by the horn. You don't even have to pull his horn. You usually just grab it and send him on. He's deciding he wants to go. Well, go on. Go to your girls. But like I said, he's a pretty easy keeper. I'm barely even tugging on this rope. He walks pretty easy with me. But we've got him in a pen over here. Some of our last bred does. Oh, hold on, I gotta open the gate. Some of our last bred does, he's been over here. We actually just had him ultrasounded to confirm some early bred dates, and we've just kept him in here just in case one of them doesn't stick. But for the most part, everybody's pretty well confirmed. They're over here, kind of a little bit of a mess. Just trying to clean up some hay along the fence line to reset it before the winter, and looks like they've eaten most of it. But for the most part, most of the girls over here. This is Peaches. She's a little weather bred doe that we raised. She's a 2018, December of 2018 doe that we kept, and she was the last one to get bred. So Brett's been in here with her. So we'll say bye to Brett. Actually, you never say bye to Brett. He likes to rub on you, spread his stink. He also likes to help you build things when you're building things. If I set a gate or something like that, he's always got his head on my ratchet. So anyway, so what I'm going to do now is I've got two more young does, a full blood percentage. One of them is Cooper's Ivory, from the Cooper family down in Kansas. They raise Boer goats. Really knocked it out of the park in the Big Red Buckle series up here in Nebraska. It was a series of, I want to say, 3 or 4 shows, and they had high points scored and took the overall in that. And so we bought a percentage doe from them. We just call her by Ivory. And then we also have one from the Pitzer Ranch, which you may recognize their name for all the high-end horses they've bred over the years and their big sale here in Nebraska. And I want to say her name is Misty Jangles. She's a full blood. She kind of has a cookies and cream color to her, so that's pretty cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, if I can figure out where I'm going, if you see these red sheds over here, our kidding shed is there, and then just to the side or front, however I'm going to point to you, just to the south of those, I've got two 12 by 18 weaning sheds, one of which I just kind of framed up and got tinned up here in the last few weeks. Surgery is going to put a damper on getting that one finished before the kids hit the ground, but we'll figure it out. But anyway, I've got Honey, our little dairy doe, and our little Nubian. I want to say she's March doe. She's over there, and then Ivory and Misty are over there, and they're going to kind of be winter buddies. I don't think we're going to breed those two this year. We'll probably just hold them off unless we have a reason to. But I'm going to pack up all the stuff, pack the stand up. I'm going to head over there and knock Misty and Ivory's hooves down before winter, and that'll pretty much wrap that portion of the day up. We're mid to late afternoon. I'm not even sure what time it is. I'll probably lose light here around 6 o'clock. But what I'll do after that, I have to put a few new ends on some extension cords. We don't have underground power over to the kidding shed this year yet. Hopefully in the next year or two we'll have something trenched over from the house, because we got a lot of extra power at the house. So we're just running extension cords off some new breakers off the shop, and that's supplying power to a couple tank heaters and lights in the kidding shed. Cords and amps are more than enough to cover the few heat lamps we need over there. So I've got to finish that up. Like I said, I've got 100 things to do in the next 5 minutes, it seems like, before Wednesday morning hits with surgery. So like I said, we probably won't take you along for all of it, but I'll probably show you when we get over to Ivory and Misty. Alright, well, we got the stand and stuff moved over here to the weaning shed. That's a little Honey, the Nubian. We're going to keep her and breed her next year. Apologize for any wind, but that's just Nebraska for you. So, as I said, this is Misty Jangles, I believe. We just call her Misty, from the Pitzer Ranch. As you can see by her legs, she's got kind of a cookies and cream look to her. She's a full blood. And this is Cooper's Ivory. And so these are the two we bought at the sale in Seward. And like I said, they both need to get a little bit of hoof trimming. But here's Honey. She's a little bottle goat, as most little dairy does. And she just loves attention. My hope is that these two, Ivory's a little more tame. Misty was mainly just pasture, not worked with as much, but in the short time we've had her here, even especially in the last couple days, she's really come along. She'll stand and let me scratch her, some things like that. But as you can see, we're only, you know, 20 yards from the yard, so they see us quite often. Like I said, twice a day for feeding, and then anytime the kids want to come out and swing or just raise a stink. So like I said, battery's about to die. I just wanted to give you a little shot of them, and we'll see if we can get them on the stand, get their hooves knocked down, and everybody will be ready to go for the winter.